Should I invest in crypto?
That's a tough one. No. Should you invest in crypto? I think you need to ask yourself, why do you want to invest in crypto? Is it because it's done phenomenally well the last 10 years and everybody looks at that and says, hey, just because this thing's gone up 20% per year, I think it's going to keep going up 20% per year? Because if that's your reasoning, I don't think you should, because the outcome's probably not going to be as rosy as you think it will be. If you want to invest in crypto as a diversifier in your portfolio and you want to have something that is maybe outside of the bounds of normal finance, maybe it's DeFi, that's a really popular term, then maybe it does make sense as a diversifier in the portfolio. We tend to stick to the recommendation for our clients that it doesn't necessarily need to be a part of the portfolio. We feel like we can earn attractive rates of return elsewhere throughout the market. If someone does want to have that exposure, we tend to tell them, look, we don't want to take on too much risk to get exposure to crypto. So the way that we would incorporate it into the portfolio is by a simple allocation. Maybe it's 1 to 5% of your total portfolio value. Again, as a diversifier, as something that is meant to look and feel different than the rest of your portfolio, not as something that we think you would make 100% on per year for the next 5 years.
What's the company's, when it comes to risk tolerance, what's Credit Capital's stance on crypto or ETFs, or, we can dress it up, and, it's okay if you want to, but what's the real viewpoint that people need to understand about crypto and ETFs?
Yeah, cryptos are definitely, from our standpoint, from our perspective, policies that we have in place, buying directly crypto securities. So think about going and opening up a wallet on a group like Coinbase. We're not doing that for clients. We're not recommending clients go and do that. The way that we get exposure to crypto is through ETFs, exchange-traded funds, that are somehow getting an underlying exposure to said crypto. I think Bitcoin is the one that most people are familiar with. It's been around the longest. It has the most traction. There's Bitcoin ETFs out there. We have clients that make allocations to these Bitcoin ETFs. But again, the firm Correct Capital Wealth Management does not recommend cryptocurrencies to most of our clients. But that all has to go back to our process and the reasonings why we own certain things in our portfolio. It's not so much we're anti-crypto. It's just more or less, can we achieve your goals and objectives through a less risky vehicle? And
Sure.
The answer tends to be yes. So we feel like we don't need the exposure.
So that's on an average, risk tolerance. Crypto tends to be a lot higher on the scale of risk tolerance, or lower, I should say.
Much higher on the scale of
How
risk.
does that level work anyway?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, so most cryptocurrency exposures or investments are on the riskier side. If you just look at historical volatility, which is a fancy way of saying how much does it move up and down, it tends to be much larger than your typical investments like stocks and bonds.
Sure.